Hi guys. So it's been a while since I've done a video because I always repeat myself, so it got a bit boring. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm just going to flow with it because there was things I wanted to speak about which I've already forgotten what I wanted to talk about. Anyway, I'm going to start with our human diet. Okay. Yes, we are all different. We are all individuals. That's very true. Mentally, heartfully, even our physics are completely different, but fundamentally, our human body, our digestive system is the same in every human. Our true human diet, whether you like it or not, is the truth. We are meant to only eat fruit. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy to eat fruit. I mean, it's not. I mean, even the UK, look, half the forest is gone, half the trees have been taken out. So that means, when we have more trees, it retains, in the summer, it will be cooler, and in the winter it will be warmer. So there was a point on Earth where we could grow food all year round. Doesn't matter where you were, even at so-called the northern countries, because the trees were bigger and denser, and it would the snow would not even really reach the ground. So you were able to grow all sorts of different fruits throughout all the different seasons. So of course, I'm not saying it's easy to have a fruit diet. I mean, I find it very hard here in the UK. I don't even like apples and pears. So, so I'm probably only about 50 to 80% fruit here, depending on the days, depending it's cold, warm, whatever. I'm still addicted to salads and, yeah, I'm vegan, but anyway, dairy, by the way, contains cow hormones. By the time you're 2, 3 years old, we're not meant to have milk, whether it's cow or human milk. So I don't care what people say, but this is the truth. Our digestive system is only built to eat fruit. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about, I'm not sure what people would think about that, because obviously this I don't know. So when I don't know, I say I don't know, okay? I know about our human diet. I know the earth is flat. I know we're only meant to eat fruit. Now, my next thing is about the blood types. So as you know, we have A, B on A, B on O, right? But on top of that, we have positive and negative. So I've got two different ways of thinking about that, which I can't think of anything it would be. It would be one or the other, or maybe a mixture of both. I don't know. So, as you know, we've got positive and negative bloods. My first idea, which in some sense makes more sense to me, which could also make sense for my second way of thinking, is that, as you know, they've been vaccinating for the last 300 years. It's nothing new, right? And the word vaccine originally comes from the word vache, which is a French name, which means cow, because the first vaccines came from diseased cow. They were re-injecting humans with cow DNA and cow's illness to tell us, like, that's just to make us stronger against it. Well, we don't get cows' illnesses, and they don't get ours, nor monkeys. So they've been infecting us with their vaccines with monkey DNA, cow DNA, on cow illnesses, on monkey illnesses. And I guess this is a reason why some people are so-called, A plus or B plus. It could be because we have been infected, we test positive for being infected with other animals' DNA. And, these animals get bitten all the time by flies and mosquitoes, which is why I think I've noticed that people with that are plus get bitten more often, by mosquitoes and other things, and people that are negative, right? So that could make sense and be the reason why. Now, but the other thing is, when they say we're plus or negative, it's called Jesus. Jesus, positive or negative, spelled RHESUS, where Jesus is Jesus. Yeah, in Spanish and in mostly Latin-derived languages, when you say I am, you say, in French, you say je suis. You put je and suis together, you get je suis Jesus. In Spanish, Jesus means Jesus, but it also means I am. So there's another possibility that the people that are positive blood somehow, maybe from their ancestors have been, good people preaching the good word of God, or whatever you want to call it, and be decent human beings. So they test positive for the so-called the blood of Christ. it's easier for them to have morals, to have integrity, and so on. Or maybe it is that people with negative blood, it's harder for them to have that. I'm not saying that the people with negative bloods are all like horrible monsters. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's just harder. Or maybe the negative blood is from the blood of Cain, and the positive blood is from the blood of Abel. Who knows? But those are three different theories that I'm giving you today in relation to that. Oh God, there was other things I was going to talk about, but it's very difficult to remember. Oh yeah, so the other thing I could talk about is all the testimonies I've been having for my device. As you know, at the moment, I think there's only 3 testimonies up there, because there's still 3 people I'm chasing up. What I have to chase up for the testimonies. One of them is a good friend of mine. He's had half his colon, or a third of his colon removed, on a lot of pain, and it's completely fine now, but it's been away, and anyway, I've got to chase that up. I can't tell names, but there's another person I did recently with tinnitus and muscle atrophy, but I only started to work on the tinnitus. The person was very like this, on edgy, slept very well after the first treatment. Tinnitus was still there, but it's a long-standing problem. They've had tinnitus for years, on and off, because of loud music, throughout their lifetime. But what happened on the second treatment is this person started to release a lot of traumatic events. This device, as I said, doesn't heal anything. It's you healing yourself through it. And of course, if you're not really ready to heal something, then it's not going to really do it. And as you know, the physical body is the longest to heal, but if you heal your emotional and mental self first, it'll be easier for your physical body to heal. So that tinnitus for that person is on and off. But after the second treatment, what happened is that they started to release all this emotional trauma on garbage and stuff from childhood. So the device is working. They've been healing themselves through it, and it's been releasing a lot of trauma and a lot of crying, and all of it coming out. But you have to remember, when letting go is the most important thing. We always have to let go. We have to let go, because if we don't let go, we get sick. And so this person started releasing, but when you have people in your family that for some reason they're upset with you, or you're upset with them, or you're not talking to one another, or whatever, you also have to let that go. Because if this person really doesn't want to speak to you, like in my case, my dad, when I finally got hold of him after years on years, like in 2011, he was very dismissive. The conversation lasted 10 or 15 minutes at the max. I think about 12 minutes. And even though I was in a really bad way, relationship breakdown, physical body breakdown, mental breakdown, emotional, I was really going through the mill. That was it lasted from 2009 to 2011, but 2011 was like the culmination of it. And by 2012, it started to slowly get better. I was mercury poisoned, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so I cried about my dad, because, basically, yeah, he spoke to me for 12 minutes, but it was very dismissive. Well, I've got to go to the Caribbean tomorrow. I'll speak to you when I get back. And I kind of hinted that I was in a really bad way, and I could do with a bit of financial help as well, because I was really down on my knees at the time. And no, nothing, absolutely nothing. And that was that. And I had to come to terms with the fact that my dad doesn't want to have anything to do with me. I still inquire about him with my uncle, who's my age, by the way, was one of his half brothers. And he's a lovely guy. But, my dad doesn't want to speak to me. So what am I going to do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. And it's good to, when you let go, miracles happen, by the way, but it's good to let it go. And don't try on even start talking to these people. Let it happen naturally. Don't try and, once you've let go of all that, it's still good to don't be the one that starts the conversation. Just really let go and see the miracle, because more often than not, miracles will happen. And this is what happened with me a lot of the times, when I had relationships that finished, and I was still like hanging on, to be with that guy, and even not, I wouldn't say stalking them, but like trying to every opportunity to try and talk to them, see them, and all of that. And sometimes the healing would, like my heart would be broken for a year, or I think the maximum I ever had was 2 years. But yeah, I mean, Cancerian, wearing my heart on my sleeve. I'm not like that anymore. But never will be again. I mean, that was a big lesson for me. But the minute I let go, every time I let go of a guy that was still pining for, every single time without fail, they would text me or call me. Every single time without any fail. So, but it's not saying I want, but then at that point, I probably obviously didn't want to be back with them anyway. So, by that point, by that point, it's too late for them, right? But I'm just saying miracles do happen. And if the person doesn't contact you ever again after you've completely, really let go, when I say let go, meaning, yeah, you're okay either way, whether they contact you or not, you're okay. It doesn't matter anymore, right? This is where the miracles happen if you don't care anymore, because if you still care, you're not really letting go, So anyway, so yeah, I'm still chasing a person for, I gave I think it was 5 or 6 treatments to the tinnitus. Got a little bit better here and there, but obviously, they were releasing all that emotional stuff, and they could have done with a couple more treatments, really. But yeah, I've got to chase that up, because I definitely need a testimony, an honest testimony from what happened with that, and so yeah, and then at the moment I'm doing a macular degeneration, though the guy, unfortunately, as I said, his treatments work extremely well when you have one treatment every 2 or 3 days maximum, but he's going to have a 4-day break, and I don't like that. I like to have maximum 3-day break. But so I will get a testimony for that, but not for another 2 or 3 weeks, because now he's having 4 days off, and he's only had 2 treatments. And I'm also, and there's a couple of people I need to contact to give treatments to, and I'm also giving treatments to this kind of thing. She's about 80 years old, this older lady, but she's got lots of issues. So I'm starting with the high blood pressure, and then I'd go on to the kidneys and all the different organs, one by one, and so yeah, so there will be about 4 or 5 testimonies coming very soon, hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, and hopefully some of them sooner than that, because they've already been done like months ago, and some of them just recently, and they're done. So I really need some testimonies for that, because that was the whole point of me giving those treatments. If I'm not going to get paid, then I need a testimony, so there you go. That's all I've got to say right now. And I'll be posting in my group iRay, so now the testimonies will go on there eventually. And at some point, I might obviously have my own website, for that as well. But once I've got all the testimonies I want, I like the number 23, so I want 23 testimonies of completely different issues, from physical damage to asthma to anything else you can think of. And then once I've got that, then I can start having a website, and I can start charging, and I can even go places. I can even travel, if people let me stay in their house for free, I can be there for a couple of weeks and give them treatments as long as I get paid well, because these treatments are really absolutely incredible. I mean, really, really incredible what it's doing. So anyway, lots of love, and I'll talk to you soon.